Well, I got some good news. As you noticed the intro video, I hope you liked it. That was a little video I'm putting together for some winter shots on my drone. And by the way, I'm not always the best pilot. I backed into a tree a few weeks ago on a trip in Florida, and it was like the second day there and didn't get any other video shots. So I fell to the ground and broke in several pieces. So unfortunately that was lost. But we now have a nice backdrop. As you can tell, I got a replacement, and I'm hoping to get some nice winter shots of ice and snow and putting together with some nice music. So hopefully that works out. Well, I got some other good news this past week. I got a vaccine. I got the COVID-19 vaccine, and you know, it's interesting because there's a lot going on out there about it. Side effects, I haven't had any at all. And it's just interesting what you hear in the media and the concerns about it. I was reading some articles, news articles a few days later about how it's being rolled out and stuff. And a couple of comments really took me back. And I mean, they shouldn't have, but they just kind of struck a chord with me with what it says. And they said, quote, "Anyone who takes this vaccine while it is in its early stages is crazy. You don't know the side effects it will have on your human body. You could fall ill in 3 months, 6 months, or a year after taking it, and the government wouldn't be to blame because you made the choice." Well, I mean, there's definitely some truth in there. We don't know. But I think what struck a chord with me is I don't think I'm crazy. And, you know, I feel like I'm an educated person. You know, my 40s now, and a full-time job, bachelor's degree in engineering. And just because I take a vaccine that someone else is uncomfortable taking it doesn't necessarily mean I'm crazy. And sure, I've called people crazy before, you know, jumping off of a bridge on that bungee cord thing. I'm sure you've seen that before on YouTube or about. And I would say, yeah, they're crazy. But I wouldn't be naming reasons why, because I don't know why. I just want to do it. And we start tagging things and putting explanation behind why they're crazy, it kind of puts that at a different level. And another story I read past summer, actually, back when the lockdown was actually coming off and people were starting to get out again through the summer. Of course, the mask rules were pretty much still in effect almost everywhere. Was a story about a hiker. Someone went hiking and they didn't have their mask on. I mean, they're outside, presumably by themselves, nothing else was around. And someone came by and was unhappy that they were not wearing their mask. So they proceeded to spit on them and told them they had COVID. And it's sad the extent people go to, and how they almost take an advantage of others, and do take advantage of others, to put others down and to point others out as being a problem, different, or just not following the norm. And have you ever felt that way? You know, over the years, I create a saying. Okay, the saying, I know this is going to sound weird at first, but just hear me out. And to me, it kind of humbles me a little bit. But the saying is, everyone is smarter than everyone else. I know that's not necessarily possible, but it has a merit of truth, I feel. There's experiences you've been through in your life. There's experiences I've been through in my life. And each one of us have those experiences differently. They've experienced that walk of whatever that was, whether it's some childhood issue, or maybe some issue you went through as a teen or as an adult. And no one else has gone through the same issues. Actually, we often talk about, well, you don't understand me. And there's a lot of truth behind that. And in those aspects, you are smarter. You understand and grasp that scenario that you can't sometimes even begin to explain to someone else. And I'm a firm believer that God has made us all unique. Each and every one of us, unique in our own ways. Sometimes we actually, a lot of times, we just want to fit in. And we are hurt when we don't fit in. Okay, let's be honest. We are hurt when we don't fit in with what we consider the norm, you know. And unfortunately, others will put us down. Or, to be honest, sometimes we'll put others down because we're not really fitting the norm, we think. Now, I'm not saying that we should not fit in with others. It's just, we are unique, and that's okay. But not to have friends because they're too much different is a different story. You know, we need to work with that and mold that. But if someone tells you you're crazy, don't go crazy worrying about it. You know, throughout the Bible, we have stories, many stories. And many of those stories are like what we've been talking about. How they've been pointed out as crazy, or as what we would say as crazy today. You know, Jesus did not fit in at all. You know, he didn't fit in with a society. He didn't fit in with a government. He didn't even fit in with his own people. And there's other stories. You know, you have Noah. You know, he built this huge boat in the middle of nowhere, preached salvation. Yet when it rained, only his family listened. Thousands and thousands, and who knows, maybe even millions, we don't know how many heard his message. After all, he was building that boat for many years. Yet only the few went in. I am sure he was called many names. Joseph, sold into slavery, rejected by his own brothers because they did not like him. They just didn't like him. Moses, a child that could not live among his own family because he would have been killed. Then to free his own people from slavery, and then for them to turn on him and call him a murderer. But God had a mission for each one of them, a plan for everyone. You know, not one of them pointed their nose back at the people and said, look what I've become. Look what I was able to do. No. They pointed everyone back to God. And even though things are difficult right now, with a lot of the politics going around, with a lot of the challenges going around with COVID, and a lot of the difficulties, when we are in that situation where we're called out as something different, as someone that is not fitting the norm, not fitting in with the current movement at hand. Maybe it's even your own party and you're not fitting in with the movement at hand. That's fine. You're unique. We're all unique. God has made us all different. He's got a mission for you. He's got a mission for me. He's got a mission for all of us. Turn to Him. Turn to His stories and allow God to guide. So, as Steve often says, let's keep looking up.